The internet, a massive open landscape full of sheep and predators. Posting photos and videos of yourself on the internet is very risky, and if you're not careful, you might end up being featured on someone else's profile without your consent. That might just be the case for today's rabbit hole of Smartschoolboy9. On the 15th of April 2024, someone by the name of Numerous Cut 792 posted this to the r/Instagram subreddit. Creepy accounts pretending to be kids. I came across a reel randomly, and it's led me down this weird rabbit hole of people using AI or dressing up pretending to go to school. They all seem to have high heels in them. Is this an age play thing or something more sinister? Literally anything helps, as I keep trying to look for answers. These are the accounts OP was talking about. What on earth? This looks freaky. Oh boy, this is gonna be some rabbit hole. Beautiful boy, an account looked after by me, a degree-educated mother, choosing to stay anonymous. Good, original, written work, advice and compassion. This was what the bio read of an Instagram account called TrueSticks11, and on October 3rd, 2021, the account posted a video clip of a supposed concerned mother talking about an Instagram account they found called Abdullah Shakir. According to TrueSticks, this account was run by an adult man posing as a child. This Abdullah Shakir account doesn't exist anymore when I searched it up on the 28th of August 2024. This was the video posted by TrueSticks11.
So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
Firstly, that voice is not of a woman. There is no way on earth. And also, this woman supposedly exposes a predator, yet she laughs at the end? Why would you laugh at something like that? That's not something to make fun of. Predatory behavior on the internet is a real problem in today's world. They would go on to post more exposure type content, warning parents to stay safe and away from bad people on the internet. And after a while, the owner of the account took a new route, posting images and video clips of a child. Not just any child, their child. Looking at these images and clips, I don't think this is a real child. I think these are all AI generated. The way their heads are shaped, the faces, the way they are contorted. Some of the content even featured CP and images of children in provocative positions. It should be pretty clear by now that this profile isn't that of a concerned mother, but a predator, a PDF file. Who on earth is this man? That brings us to the account known today as Smartschoolboy9. And these are the types of content that were featured on said profile. That is clearly not a schoolboy. Not a real one, that's for sure. Well, from what I could gather, it seems like this person's name is David Alter, and he is a 59-year-old man pretending to be a 9-year-old schoolboy. Now, looking back at his first post, it's obvious that this account was run by a man, and you can hear from the way he speaks that it's not a real woman. Now that we know this man is a predator, it all makes sense why he laughed in that first clip. He finds all of this funny. He finds being a predator funny and enjoyable. What a sick individual. This Truth Sticks account and Smart Schoolboy account wasn't the only ones though. He had multiple profiles, each being of a different child. One being girl Chloe 12, who featured a supposed 13-year-old girl named Lisa. And then of course Smartschoolboy9, who featured a 10-year-old boy. Now, there are many accounts with the same theme. School children content with weird crazy editing, CP and provocative positions of children. These provocative images of the children are clearly fake. The body is that of an adult, with the face of whoever the child is that's being portrayed. This is utterly disgusting and wrong on so many levels. Let's go to the Smart Schoolboy account, as this seems to be the one he was most active on, and the one this whole rabbit hole is about. On this account, he doesn't even try to hide his face and his area. He literally shows his face on every single post he can, and sometimes doing whatever this is.
Hi guys.
Now, clearly this is not a child, neither a schoolboy for that matter. This is clearly an adult man pretending to be a child in school. Looking at some of his posts, he always heavily emphasizes on his age in all of these accounts of his. And he seems to like high-heeled mini boots a lot. In all of these Smartschoolboy9 videos, he has what seems to be white face paint, wears school clothing, and has a lunchbox with him. Some of his other accounts were 12 Stockwell Joanne 12, Stephanie Schooley, Miles 95, Stephanie Stansfield, and many more. Many, if not all, of these kids on the accounts have no other source. They can't be traced back to the original source, which means only two things. These images were sent to him by other people. Perhaps parents who thought he was one too, and he edited them and posted them. It is possible. Or he took these images of these children and then he edited them and posted them. Both theories are very possible, but I think it might be parents that gave him these photos and videos. But why on earth would these parents send out pictures of their children? That's so irresponsible. That's so weird. Yeah, I know I mentioned that these images are AI generated, but some of these images have real faces of what looks to be real kids. There's even clips of these children. The 12 Stockwell Joanne 12 profile hosted edited images of a 12-year-old girl named Joanne Tang, and here we can see she looks normal. No face edits, just a young girl in a school uniform. Clearly, these were clips taken off of other profiles or sent to him by parents who followed him. Sometimes, however, he would edit a massive mouth onto her face and make her look uncanny. So some are obviously AI and some are real, but we have no idea where he got the real ones from, unfortunately. In some of his posts, he mentions being on a bus and he even films it. He was even at a bus stop in some videos. In other videos, we see him inside of a classroom filming. How does he have access to a classroom? How is he allowed to be in a school dressed like that? He is even seen near a playground of sorts in some of his posts. Some people theorize that he might be a school bus driver, hence why he is able to ride on the bus taking photos inside and be inside of the school in the classrooms without being called out. That does make sense. But it doesn't make it any less weird how a school would let him inside and be a driver of its children of all things. You know it gets worse when a predator starts to try and interact with real children on the internet. And unfortunately, Smartschoolboy9 did just that. Yep, of course he had to. It's the predator thing to do. You have some cool shirts, but I have to wear a school uniform to school. It is nice, but casual isn't allowed, and it is quite hot here in the UK as the month of June suddenly got warmer. So he lives in the UK. Interesting. London, to be exact. I'm guessing you like tacos more. I've only tried them once. Another boy ahead of me at school, he's 12, brings snacks. Few have heard of here in the UK. I saw the name Takis on the wrapper of both versions he bought, and they're tasty. The snack scene here in the UK is competitive, so you've done well to get Takis sold here. Oh, and you look really suitable to be in a promotional ad. You have the enthusiasm for it. Do you like school? I do. It is good. Yeah, this guy's crazy. He creates fake child profiles and interacts with other children. Let's take another look at some of these images from his accounts. See how some of them have ropes or strings involved? See how many of these photos are of supposed children in contorted positions? That's very strange to say the least. What does all of this mean? Why does he dress like a schoolboy? Why does he have such a fascination with high-heeled mini boots? Well, this is all a fetish. A fetish of a depraved man, a predator. And perhaps this is his way of living out his fetish, posing as a young child. These provocative type posts that he made with girls in short dresses is actually adult themed, and they look very similar to Japanese schoolgirl adult type stuff you get on the internet. The ropes on the photos might suggest that he is into BDSM. He likes to be in control, and the fact that he acts like a child and can do, say and dress the way he wants proves just that. This guy is mentally ill and he needs serious help before someone gets hurt or worse. I've kept you all waiting long enough. What on earth is this dumb thing he's doing?
Hi guys.
What is that? Some think what he does resembles the face of a bloated body of a drowning victim, while others think it's the face of a strangulation victim. I've tried looking up if the tongue puffs up for a drowning victim, but I couldn't see anything saying that. Now, I did see it being the case for a strangulation victim, as the tongue gets like that due to lack of oxygen. What does all of this mean? Is he trying to allude to the fact that he likes the idea of strangulation? Doing that to imaginary victims? It would make sense if you pair it with the photos that have ropes edited into them, and they all involve children. This Rabbithole spawned two subreddits, namely r/Smartschoolboy9 and r/TrueSticks11. Yeah, people post their own theories on what's going on and any new information that arises. These subreddits have dedicated themselves to try and keep the story alive and to keep the spotlight on this individual until he is caught. Many people predicted that he might delete his accounts and try and erase his history when he is exposed. And indeed he did. He went and deleted all these accounts we discussed, and all we have of it ever existing is Google Drive folders of people who archived every single post. Even some people on YouTube and TikTok creating archival videos showing the whole post with its caption and date. I appreciate these types of things because it allows the traces of people like this to never be wiped out, and it might eventually help law enforcement to have more info to prosecute this man. Now, you might be wondering why he has been able to do all of this, walk the streets and not get caught or called out. Well, people have been seeing him for years, walking the streets dressed the way he was in his posts. When I lived in Doncaster, there was a man who used to walk around dressed as a 1960s schoolboy, and it looked like he'd walked out of a black and white photo. Pretty sure his skin was painted white. People said he was called David Walter Alter. He's really creepy. I used to live just outside the town center at that time, and before I even saw him in court or the paper, I came across him several times outside, all dressed as a schoolgirl with that makeup on, harassing the schoolgirls. He did live on Christchurch Road. I think his name is something like David Walter Alter, but he had some kind of persona he believed he was when he dressed up in those clothes or makeup. He was reported loads around 2000 to 2005, but never really faced any charges, as he always presented that he was a schoolgirl, despite, I think, being in his late 30s. He went to court and got off, and then he was on the front page, first few pages of the Doncaster Star, with a headline saying something like, "Man who dresses as a schoolgirl found to have done nothing wrong." He used to live on my street while I was in the last few years of secondary school and college. He was a strange guy. Hasn't changed much. Used to wear his outfit and walk up and down the street, hiding behind trees and watching people. My stepdad and brothers had a few altercations with him, and the police were called numerous times. I worked at the local supermarket during Christmas when at college and served him. He stank and had the strangest voice, obviously put on, but really unnerving. Okay, so clearly people have seen him roam the streets, dressed like a schoolboy or schoolgirl, but they probably never did anything because they thought he was weird and didn't want to cause drama. It's so creepy to think that you might be walking past a sick individual and not even knowing, having a monster lurk right under your nose. Where is this guy situated? Where does he live? Well, earlier, he himself said he is from the UK in one comment he left on a child's post, and people have concluded that he stays and wanders the streets and roads of Kennington, Stockwell, and Streatham in London, the UK. On his Stephanie Stansfield profile, he mentioned Milton Keynes, which is a region just north of London. Nobody knows as of now where exactly his house is, and even if people did, I wouldn't say where it is. I don't want people watching the video and go out and harass the guy and cause trouble, as the case is currently being investigated. Please do not go out and look for this guy. If you do end up seeing him on the streets, do not interact with him, attack him or follow him. Do not go to any new Instagram accounts he might be making and harass him. I can't believe I have to tell a bunch of adults on the internet to not be irresponsible. Yet, here I am doing it. seeing how so many people watched the video of Nick Crowley and Tav and went to his post and harassed him, causing him to delete his post, making the job of law enforcement harder. Be responsible, people, please. So, why did he post that initial video to his account, seemingly calling out other predators on Instagram when he himself is a predator? Well, my theory is that he was trying to play good cop, and by calling out these people, concerned parents would see him as being the good guy and that he is trusting. Since he is seen as being trustworthy, the people who follow him post photos and videos of their children to their pages, essentially giving this guy free child content to binge watch on all he wanted, without anybody knowing. Heck, maybe he even took some of these photos and videos, edited them heavily and posted them to his accounts. It would make sense, seeing how he was able to post same children content for so long. This whole thing reminds me so much of the Pipergate rabbit hole of not too distant memory. If you don't know what Pipergate was, it was essentially a 65-year-old man named William Glenn Whitaker, who had a few YouTube channels called Piper Rocks and Isabel Piper back in 2018, and he would post edited video clips of young celebrity girls and girls who had their own YouTube channels to his. The edits of these videos were perverted, crude, violent and heavily suggestive. William would pose as a 10-year-old girl named Piper, and these channels of his and Twitter accounts would be used to distribute CP in the comment section. Really depraved individual indeed. This Smartschoolboy9 thing reminds me so much of that, and it's obvious and clear to see why. So what are my theories? Well, I think he is a predator, that's for sure, who posts disgusting stuff on the internet of our most vulnerable people, kids. He uses these accounts to feed his sick perversion, and who knows, maybe he has people who follows him, who supplies him with content for him to edit, without any of the children's shown's consent, or even that of the parents. I will emphasize again, this guy needs to be stopped as soon as possible, before anybody gets hurt or worse. The guy clearly has sick fantasies, and it's just a matter of time before he acts on it. Wait. He has. There was a video clip he posted of what looks to be him chasing a child. I really hope that it wasn't him, and that it was a clip taken from somewhere else, and that it has a light-hearted story. If this is his way of trying to make us laugh, I ain't laughing. This is far from being anything remotely comedic. This is terrifying. I hope this man gets caught soon, and that he gets locked up for life. People like this should not be allowed to roam our streets or be allowed near our children. So, in brief summary, Smartschoolboy9, as well as Truth Sticks and Stephanie Schooley and all these other accounts, are all run by the same man named David Walter Alter. He's a 59-year-old man who dresses up as a schoolboy or schoolgirl, and he lives out his disturbing, disgusting fantasies by posing as these children, making disturbing edits of these children and posting them to his accounts. The reason why he might be emphasizing these children's ages so much in every single post might be some password or keyword, so that other predators, when they stumble upon these videos or photos, that they know that they found the right place for these types of content. Heck, who knows, he might even be in contact with a lot of other predators and they distribute CP and bad stuff between them, it is very possible. The thing is, we will only know when he is caught. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you were creeped out to your core by what you saw here today, tap the like button, share with people you think might be interested in this, and subscribe to soothe that fascination.